What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Vans Gaming coming back at you live with The Walking Dead, the Road to Survival gaming app. And this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about defense. Priority of this video is defense based. Some tips and advice for you guys on defense. I'm pretty, knowledgeable on defense wise. So I thought I would help you guys. Last war, actually, I defended quite a lot than I usually do. I do have to thank the stun gun, though, because that, obviously makes a big part of it, but also, the tunes, behind, your shield and everything also makes a big part of it, too, or else it just doesn't work. The tunes just have to go in well together, because some tunes just don't pop in well together, and you just gotta make sure you get that down really well. So, going back to war, I only coined about once, I believe. I just coined once, but I didn't war that much. But I am going to war a lot this upcoming weekend, so hopefully can show you guys a lot more war videos then, and you can see my defense and whatnot and stuff like that. But I want to help, those people that are kind of in the beginning stages of this game, even the middle, and maybe even some of the veteran players with defense. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, you're going to need a good leader. Everybody knows this rainbow leader here, which is Victor, which he does all teammates get 30% attack against fast characters, and all teammates get a medium bonus to AP when attacking. So every time when I say rainbow leader, it means that he can be a leader for either a range or a melee. So range or melee, he goes well with. But a leader like Shiva is obviously, you don't go there. Obviously, like Shiva, she is only going to be melee based, which is all melee teammates get 30% defense and a very large bonus AP when attacking. So, to find the best leader, obviously, if you have this armored Shiva and you have good melee tunes, decent melee tunes, then obviously you want to go with this Shiva because she does give that 30% defense and the very large bonus to AP when attacking. So you're going to get defense, and the person attacking you is going to take quite a while because you have that defense on all your tunes, and they're going to take quite a while to take you down, which is a very, very good thing. But, if you don't have a Shiva like this, or, you don't have a Victor, you're kind of the beginning and the middle and you don't have these type of tunes, then definitely you can go ahead and try, if you're mostly have 4 stars, you can try to find a leader. I use Rosita as an example. She is a really good 4-star lead. All ranged teammates get 20% defense and a medium bonus to AP when attacking. So that is a very good leader skill for a 4-star for that aspect. I don't have a lot of 4 stars, guys, but try to find these type of leader skills. Obviously for 4 stars, I believe there's not a lot of like all teammates get the very large boost or medium boost, because Rosita here is only ranged based. So you want to make sure that you put all range in these slots here, or else it's just not gonna work out for you if you put melee, because they're not gonna get the boost, they're not gonna get the defense that she gives out. She gives the 20% defense, so try to find a good 4-star lead like that with the medium boost. I think 4 stars are just medium boost. I don't think there's any 4 stars that get a very large boost. But try to find that. And second of all, if you don't even have those type of tunes which give a medium boost or a very large boost, then what you're gonna have to do is pretty much go for the next best thing. So I use for an example right here. 4-star Abe. All melee teammates get 30% defense. So unfortunately, like I said, if you don't have he doesn't have the very large or medium, and he just has the 30% defense. So your tunes may not pop round 2, unfortunately, which it's not going to be that well. Your defense is not going to go that well because they need a pop on turn 2 to hopefully get you that defend. But you have to work with what you got. So this 4-star Yellow Abraham is the best, essentially next thing. And you also remember all melee teammates. You got to make sure you put all melee teammates in here to make sure that they get that boost. And then there's 4-star Beth. She is the HP. So whichever you got, she has the 30% HP. Here you guys must have the 4-star Dwight limited edition if you've been here a while for the museum part. I could have sworn he had a leader skill, but I guess that was just the 5-star Dwight. And I'm gonna see. I remember in the beginning of the game, I used 4-star Shane a lot. I still have him from when I started the game. Just to reminisce of old times. All melee teammates get 50% HP. So that's all teammates. Not, I think I said all melee teammates. It's all teammates, and they also get 20% defense against ranged characters. So I had no Victor, I had no Rainbow lead, I had no Armored Shiva, I had nothing. I just had, this was probably the best leader I had at the time because I used him 24/7, and he gives, he gives quite a couple things: the 50% HP and the 20 defense against ranged characters. So since he's all teammates, then you can essentially put either melee or range and stuff like that. So you just gotta find the best leader that works with the majority of the tunes that you got. So once we find a pretty decent leader, so I'm just gonna keep Victor here, just put him in. So he's the Rainbow lead. Secondly, you're gonna want to have, personally, you're gonna this is just my opinion on what a good defense would consist of, guys. So I would put in a neutralize. So if you have a Rainbow lead, obviously you can use a neutralize melee or a range. But like I said, guys, if your leader is either just ranged based or just melee based, try to find a neutralize that is just the melee based or range based. Obviously for this Rainbow lead it can be both. So I have the blue neutralized Tyrese, I also have the yellow neutralized Tyrese here, so I can use either or. But neutralize is actually really good because it can mess a lot of people up. A lot of people tend to forget about neutralizing defenses. I personally can say that I have when going against people. I totally forget they have that neutralize, and then an important tune usually gets neutralized, and then essentially I fail. So it's a good, I think it's a good thing to have a neutralized tune in this in your defense composition. So definitely try to find the best neutralized tune that goes well with your leader. Personally, if you have like multiple neutralize, try to find the one that has a really great adrenaline rush. Like this Tyrese deals 425 damage to up to 2 enemies, and this character gets 70% attack for 2 turns. So if I had to choose between that neutralized Tyrese and this one, I would pick the blue one, just for the fact that it's it hits a line of enemies, and then all teammates get the 50% attack and 50% defense. So you try to find kind of the best adrenaline rush with what you need that will benefit all your tunes that are in your defense. Secondly, you are going to want to put a hard hitter. So, for example, put like Guardian Rick right here. So he is an adjacent hitter. So you want to. So I love adjacent hitters, even not only for defense but for offense as well. And he's gonna pack a punch. And the Guardian ability is a plus as well. He's like kind of a ghetto shield. He'll shield the one with the lowest HP. So he will work really well in here for the adjacent or any other adjacent tunes here. See if I can find any other adjacent tunes here. Oh, we got Antonio here. He is only up to 3 enemies here, and he also gives an attack boost and defense boost. So that's what I'm saying, guys. If you have like multiple adjacent, just try to find the best one that has the best adrenaline rush, and as well as 45 AP tunes, guys. I forgot to say that in the beginning. Try to find 45 AP tunes. I know this Tyrese is only 58, but neutralize, it's just for the neutralize purposes, it's just a bonus if he goes off. But if you really want to rely on him going off, for your your defense, obviously I would choose yellow neutralize Tyrese because he is a 45 AP tune here. Right there. So that's essentially what you do. But yeah, guys, try to find a hard hitter right here that, like I said, like I'm gonna keep saying, that goes well with your leader here. So try to find a good adjacent tune. A good adjacent tune to put in your third slot here. I believe I said leader when I shouldn't have. Victor's a leader, then the neutralize, and then the hard hitter, which means adjacent hitter. Because, I mean, tunes like, for example, Herschel, 450 damage to 1 enemy, that's not going to do much. Because most likely your opponent is going to have a shield, and, they're going to pack a punch to the shield, but the shield is most likely going to have a tank weapon, and nothing's really going to happen. But when you have an adjacent hitter, it's going to hit all the 3 tunes, which gets their HP down. So now, for the third slot, I prefer to have, since you already have an adjacent hitter, you have a neutralize. Personally, I would suggest having someone kind of like, okay, so Fortunately, right here for Victor, his Adrenaline Rush is already a defense debuff. So can you imagine when him going off, and then you have Antonio going off, or, you know, like I said, if you have like another adjacent hitter or whatever, like Rick. So if Victor goes off first, then Guardian Rick, then essentially, hopefully, you'll wipe out their team. Unless, you know, actually they're very good, or they have like stun, impair, or absolute galore. But you know that's gonna be essentially really really good. So for the third slot here, I would suggest putting in probably, you know, you know, you can either be two things, guys. So it can be, for example, like this Shiva, 700% damage to one enemy. So you can have a tune that, you know, just hits like one enemy. That's fine. And if you want like this Herschel here, honestly, guys, I would, you know, kind of suggest not having a revive, but just using as Herschel as an example as a 450 damage to one enemy. Obviously, if you have a roster that's, you know, insane, you have a really good leader, and you use like someone like Rosita or Hunter that have like impair weapons or something, obviously, you know, revives are going to go really well in your defense. But this video is kind of mostly based for the people kind of in the beginning and kind of middle, and maybe even some veterans. So yeah, so not really talking to people who have, you know, all the good shit, but, you know, trying to help the people that really can't come up with, you know, the best defense composition, or don't know what to do. So I would suggest, you know, trying to find like a hard hitter, maybe something like that. You know, maybe hopefully if you have a hard hitter plus a heal, you know, it's the best of both worlds. They hit hard and they also heal. And, you know, Greases right here is the command tune. So I would not suggest putting a command tune as well in here, guys. So that is a warning, a caution. In my opinion, I would suggest not putting a command tune in your defense, because if they command the wrong tune, because that is possible, they can command the wrong tune, and essentially your defense will be useless, and you will lose that raid. And sometimes Greasus, you know, or not Greasus, but the command tune will command, you know, the right tune and could win you the raid, but do you really want to take that 50-50 shot of you losing most of your raids, putting a command tune? So I would suggest not putting a command tune. So maybe, you know, if you're kind of like, you know, I know a lot of people have 5-star Dwight, healing Dwight, this guy right here, so you can put him in there as well. Unfortunately, he's not, haven't leveled him yet, but I know he's not a 45 AB tune. I think he's 76. But, you know, like I said, you know, I would suggest a hard hitter plus a heal, best of both worlds. But if you only have a healer, you know, that's fine too. There's also Molly in here as well. She gives that that heal and attack boost. So can you imagine, guys, if this, you know, your defense debuff tune goes off and then your adjacent hitter goes off, but Molly goes off first, so she gives that attack boost, and, you know, essentially you're gonna wipe at least 3 of their tunes down, and stuff like that. So I think, you know, it's kind of a good thing to put in a healer, either a healer or hard hitter, or a healer and attack boost. Or if you have none of those and you just have a healer, then you're obviously gonna have to put a healer in there. I'm hoping at least people have one healer. You should have a healer. You should have Molly by now, or maybe even 4-star Denise, even though she kind of sucks, to be honest. Her AP is really slow, but, you know, if you have a healer, definitely put them in there. And obviously for the last slide, it's kind of self-explanatory, guys. Put in a shield if you have one. If you have a shield, you definitely want to put in a shield in there, like Michonne or Magna. And I know a lot of people do not have a shield, unfortunately. So for those people who do not have a shield, I would suggest putting another adjacent hitter. And here's why. It just packs more of a damage. It packs more of a damage. So let's go ahead and, you know, add in, you know, Antonio. You can add Antonio, or, you know, the Kane is also an adjacent hitter. These are just examples, guys. You know, I'm also, you know, talking back on saying, you know, you need like the adjacent hitter neutralized. Obviously, you guys aren't gonna have these type of tunes, exactly these type of tunes that I have, but I am telling you what you can switch them off with. So, like, you know, you can use Kane or Antonio because they're both adjacent. So now just, you know, picture this. You know, Molly goes off. You know, Victor goes off. Then Rick, and then Antonio. They all, you know, will pack a serious punch in there as well. And then you have your neutralize, you know, just in case in there for, you know, Andreas and stuff like that. Also, guys, another big caution and warning. You can see here that I'm using all yellow, which is a bad idea. Do not use just an all one color defense. And I'm sure you guys know why. Because if you use an all color, they can essentially just re-attack you, and pretty much put an all green team and take you out. So I would suggest, obviously, trade in Antonio for Kane because he's a red, and kind of like make it a little bit more colorful. So we got Molly in there. I don't think I have another healer. So obviously, if you just can't trade him out, and because that's your only healer or that's your only neutralizer, then unfortunately you're gonna have to leave them in there. But if you have another color tune that has the same aspect of this Molly or this Tyrese or the adjacent hitter, then I definitely suggest you use a different color if you do have that. But of course, if you don't, then you're gonna have to leave it like this. And the adjacent hitter right here, I believe I don't have any more adjacent hitters for green or yellow. But there's Richard. I have Richard here. But you just got to make sure it works well as well, because Richard, he does the defense, 30% defense debuff, and Victor does the same thing. But you can essentially just try to use him like you would have used Guardian Rick and stuff like that. And that's essentially like what I would do, guys. This is just my opinion on what you should use and stuff like that. Let's go to 4 stars. I only have a limited of 4 stars, but I can show you guys what I mean here. So we already did 5 stars here, but just so I won't be too confusing to you guys, let's go ahead and put in Rosita. So she's an all range leader team. So obviously I'm gonna try and find a neutralize range. Look, we already have Luke. I know a lot of people have Luke because he was like coming out in a lot of events, and he's annoying to have, but fortunately he's a neutralize, so I could put him in there. And then obviously we have to find an adjacent hitter, so let's go ahead and let's see if we can find an adjacent hitter here. I don't think this guy's he's up to 2 enemies, so that's the next best thing. And we got Sherry here, that's to only 1 enemy. And Abraham, fortunately he's melee. Let's see what this Dwight does. For 3 turns to a line of enemies there, and I don't believe I have a range that would be adjacent. I mean, Rosita is already adjacent, right there, but well, up to 4 different enemies there, so she's not necessarily that adjacent there. But yeah, so obviously if you only have 4 stars, and the next best thing is that obviously this Dwight, he will do the he deals 200% damage and cause 120 damage bleeding for 3 turns to a line of enemies. So he's the next best thing to an adjacent, unfortunately. So you definitely just try to build up your roster, trying to get these good tunes. And then the next one we have is our healer. So obviously we're gonna put Molly in there for our healer. Oops, my bad. She is a melee. Gotta remember that, guys. So obviously, like I said, if you don't have a range healer, I don't believe I do. Range healer, let's see if we got one. No, we don't. So obviously, we're gonna have to unfortunately go with our Molly here, even if she is melee, and she will not get the leader skill of Rosita, unfortunately. So hopefully there is 4 stars out there with a rainbow kind of lead, which will impact your range and your melee tunes. But unfortunately, if you don't have that, you're gonna have to just set her in there. And then obviously for this one, if you don't have a shield, then you're gonna want to put another kind of adjacent hitter. And I think the other adjacent hitter that I had was this Dexter guy here. He was in I believe in an event or something of that sort. But I think the majority of people don't have this card. But this is pretty much a 4-star team here. So we got our range leader. Make sure she has that medium bonus to AP when attacking. Like I said, you're gonna need that. And obviously the next best thing is a leader skill like this. Elite teammates get their 30% defense boost like that. So either if you don't have that medium, go with that one, the next best thing. And then you want your neutralize tune, and then you're gonna want your adjacent tune. Obviously if you don't have like a tune that hits everybody, you're gonna want the next best thing, which Dwight does the 2 enemies. I mean the line of enemies, which is 2, and then your healer, and then another adjacent hitter if you don't have a shield. So that's pretty much it, guys. For this, if you do the next best thing, which is this Abraham here. Oops, my bad. If you do this Abraham here, all melee teammates get 30% defense. Your tunes are not, the tunes that you put behind him, the melee ones, they're not going to go off round 2. And essentially, you might lose the raid. So, don't freak out, if you're just not winning your raids right now because you don't have, someone good like Rosita, or just a good leader skill tune. Don't worry about it. Your roster will grow over time, and you'll be able to make decent defenses and stuff like that. But this was just kind of to help the little beginners and the middles, and maybe even some veterans. Hopefully I helped out there as well. But yeah, guys, hopefully I helped here. um Also, I just want to add, make sure that your weapons, they have a very large boost when attacking. If they're 45 AP tunes, you can just put in the large bonus to AP when attacking. It doesn't have to be very large, because I know very large, they're hard mats, and I know a lot of people don't have a lot of mats to just not use the critical mats like duct tape and polishing kits. So you just try over and over to try to get the very large, because then you'll just keep losing mats that way. So what I kind of suggest for the beginning and middle is to just use, just to put the very large, which is kind of like the yellow looking stat. It's not purple or blue or anything. You can put that for the 45 APs, and as well you can put the medium boost when attacking to the 45 AP tunes as well, because they will still go off round 2, but only for 45 AP tunes, guys. So for Rosita, for example, she's 45. You can do the medium boost or a large boost. It doesn't have to be the very large. But tunes like I don't know if I'm maxed out anybody here, but tunes that are over 45, you want to make sure you have them with a very large boost. So hopefully you can get those, because they won't go off, round 2, or they might not even still go off round 2 with a very large boost. So you kind of got to make sure you have the right weapons for that. And you gotta make sure when you look at Rosita, she deals 150 damage to up to 4 enemies. So if she's the type of tune to deal damage, you obviously want to put 30% attack, and then the second slot you obviously want to put like 30% defense or HP. But if it's someone like Molly and she doesn't even hit at all in her adrenaline rush, you just regain HP, and you just get a attack buff. Obviously you don't want to put a 30% attack on her weapon. You're just gonna want to give her a tanky weapon like 30% HP or 30% defense, and a large bonus AP when attacking, or a medium bonus AP when attacking, because she is 45. So that's that's a little tip for you guys as well for weapon wise, as what to put there. So yeah, guys, I'm hoping I helped. I hope I wasn't too confusing. If I was, definitely, go ahead and comment down below if there's anything you found confusing and you want answers to, or if you just want to personally message me like on Line Messenger and Kick Messenger, leave your info down below, and I'll personally message you, and I can help you one-on-one if you want me to do that, so I can see your roster and stuff like that. Just make sure to comment down below your username for Line Messenger or Kick. And so yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it a like and a subscription. Mean the world to me, guys. Also, comment down below the video if you have any other type of questions, or you just want to say something random, or you just want to say hi to me. I will always comment back to you guys. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.